what's up with this? Back in my workshop, back to the daily grind again. Still got some big discs to do. The final two pieces of the brakes of the Mark II. And first, let's clean out this mess I left before we went to the USA. So let's clean it out so we can make a fresh start on the lathe again and get the brakes finished. Let's hit it! I'm going to the neighbor to turn out the big piece. So that's that. Only the mess it makes is kind of terrible. Back looking at how it looks, and I'm still really happy on this. Some final touches on the clearance of the caliper and the rear. We're going to start making the bracket to fit the brakes and the handbrake. So we're going to do almost the same like the Mark III we did. So we're going to make a bracket behind the hub. Going to take one of the Mark III types I built it, which will be in production really soon. Got the first pieces cut it, so going to attach some work together and then they will be available in the web shop. Link in the description below. Probably in December they will be online. I'm really busy on getting some parts produced to put in the web shop. And maybe, if all goes well, we got the fitment for this type of brakes as well. Going to try and make all descriptions on which brakes will fit which adapter, so you can all look it up and buy the parts you will need to convert your own brake setups. First up, cleaning the mess out and measuring some stuff, and we'll be on to production again. Okay, now this is something I can work with again. Cleaned out all the mesh from the last time. Now let's finish the second pieces. This should go a little bit easier because we did it already one time. I know the steps now, so let's go get these done and then the fun stuff starts to mounting everything together. Well, what was not in the latest movie, I can film right now, because the last time everything went so quick because I wanted to have it finished. I'm going to the neighbor to turn out the big piece, which didn't fit in my lathe. So let's see how this turned out and get this final piece done. Both of the rear pieces are done, ready for drilling. Working on the mold right now, so I can drill that. So that's up after this one is finished. So hopefully today we can put some wheels on and put the Mark II maybe on some wheels for the next pieces of the puzzle. And then I can start on the rear brackets for the big brakes at the rear. So that's that. Another step closer to the end result. Now drilling up the holes, back to my lathe, getting the final alignment pieces in and the 45-degree edge on it. So first up now, drilling up the holes, then back to my lathe, the center hole and the alignment holder in, or the alignment edge, and then we got both of the fronts ready as well. That means this is running pretty good today. Let's go. So okay, get the special drill in, which has a flat bottom, and we adjusted the depth on the machine. So let's go and get these done. Really smooth. Checking, checking, keep checking, and then everything will turn out fine. Almost there. I need to hold it. Oh, yes. Another one perfectly fit. Woo-hoo. Okay, final step. And they're all done. I'm so excited. And every step I take, it's getting better. That's kind of cool. Well, time to clean up the mess. Got them all done and they turned out awesome. I'm really happy on the result, only the mess it makes is kind of terrible. But look at these beauties. I'm really happy on this result. Never done this before. Let's get the brakes together. Let's get some holes drilled and get them and get everything finalized so we can show how everything's going to look. And yes, of course, it should be cool to CNC these holes. But the nice thing is I centered everything on the front and on the rear, so the holes are only to mount it. Everything's already centered, so it won't move anyway. It should be nice to get it on a CNC mill, but that's still broken. So if you know anybody who got some knowledge about a mill like this, get in contact with me. Maybe we can figure out what's wrong with my mill. Then I can start this crazy thing again. It will start up, only it says something with the memory on the machine is not working. So anybody with some knowledge on this, let me know. But for now, getting some holes drilled, get this all finished. Because I made a mold and centered these holes, so they should be perfect anyway. Okay, so now this is just a test fit to see if everything is correct. I will order some proper bolts and nuts for the setup eventually, but first let's see if everything is working out together and then order the parts. Man, how many freaking times do I need to touch that bearing grease? Again, everything is there. Fucked up. Okay, now it's time to get the disc centered. It's centering on the bell that I just made, and now I'm going to put a tiny drilled hole, or just touch the hole in the bell, so we got a marker on where to drill the holes. Now I really want to get that as perfect as possible, so I'm going to find out which one is the best. If I measured, it's around 6.2-ish, so let's see what will fit. I've got this crazy box of drills, so we're getting 6.3. Ooh, that's better. So we're getting 6.3. Ooh, that's better. Try 6.4. Ooh, that's fitting as well. Ooh, probably that's going to be it. 6.5-ish? Nah, 6.4, alrighty. Some little centers, not more than that. Just centering this. I think I'm going to start with 2 or 1. I'll start with 1 and then bolt that on, so it won't move and wiggle around anymore. That's one hole in there. So let's get this one on. Now I got all these holes. Weep. That's more stuff done. And when I'm right, we can put this together now. And we should have one rear finally completely done. The fronts we know already fit. So that means we're getting there. So what do you guys think? I'm going to order 10.9 bolts over here as well. But this is fitting so good, we don't need the CNC. fuck you again. Okay, next day, next little issue. I already knew this from the beginning, but I still needed to figure out what to do with this. So we got all this nice and together. But the problem is, if we put the studs in, you can see over there, they will be on the bottom, so they will hit that part. So the nicest thing to do is to mill out a couple of millimeters, that it will just fall into there. But as you know, the problem is that my freaking mill, or the CNC part at least, doesn't work. So I came up with another idea. A little mold again. This should fit over there, and the mill should be centered through these holes. So the idea is attach this, then center the mill in there, and then let's get the mill down as far as I need it to go. Well, okay then. Some tinkering around and a good night of sleep brings you new ideas on the tools you have. So this is working really good. Need to take 2 steps. First I need to align it, then with the smaller one a little center hole, and then with the big mill the final step. But it is going to work. Now this is going to sit right below. Let's go and do the rest, and then make the final steps. A lot of work involved in this tiny piece. So this mill isn't completely to the center, so there will stay a little tiny hole. So that's why I need to start with the center hole first to get the big mill in. I gotta do it with the tools I have. Yes, this is so nice. Now they are all done. Some nice little holes for these in. And then the crazy stuff, we got to do this trick all over again for the second one. So quickly get that finished, and then we're off to mounting stuff on the Mark II again. I'm excited to get it down there and just figuring out on the lathe and on the milling machine. Kind of long time ago milling. I really enjoyed that always. But let's get the second part done and do all the steps again. So let's go. To the press, getting the studs back in, then we can finally assemble one. both wheels are on and all the brakes are positioned at the front. Everything is mounted and it's looking really good. And at the rears, I positioned the brake setup on around how it's going to be. And then next up is some brackets. So I attached it for now and put the Mark III plate behind so I can measure out and I have a good starting point on where to work out of. Because if I position it in comparison to the Mark III set, I can really measure back on where this one's going to be, and I only have to change some stuff in the drawing and then I should be alright to get it mounted. So probably a couple of hours of work and I got the bracket done, because it's looking really decent on where all the setups needing to be. I don't see any crazy complicated stuff at this moment, because tuning life is always a little bit more complicated when we think. But thus far I'm really happy on this result and where we're heading in this setup. I hope you liked this episode. It was a little bit of the same from like the last episode, but that's how it goes. It's always more work than we think. And I'm working on some production stuff for in the web store. So got some brake setups cut it. The only thing left to do is some welding and ordering some nuts and bolts to make some complete sets. So you guys can order them in the web store. Link in the description below. And for now, thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And we're getting close to putting it on its wheels. So keep watching out for the next episode on the Mark II, which will be on its wheel, rolling around the shop, ready for some next stuff. Thank you again. See you in the next episode.